Okay, so I wanted to talk about a couple of things. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the fact that BROLY has been translated. As you see, he's been translated. He doesn't have an official release date, that we can data mine yet. Only thing that we know that's coming out for global now at this point, since Trunks is dropped and the Dokkan Awakenings with Trunks and all that other stuff, all that stuff just dropped recently. Of course, the new Vegeta, but the last thing that we see is this Tournament Gohan. He's a pretty cool unit if you guys are interested in him. But either way, right, BROLY has been translated, so it appears they finally got their stuff together or just simply remembered BROLY. We don't know what the issue was, why he got postponed so heavily, but it just kind of seems so weird. I mean, it kind of seemed like, there was a licensing thing, but then it's like, well, I don't know if there really should be that. Then you kind of think, well, maybe he didn't profit as much as they would have wanted him to, so they didn't really have any plans on releasing him, and it kind of just went a bunch of different ways. But as you see, the unit is officially translated in the game's files, which means he is geared for a release. There's a lot of other units that are in the game's files, just for example, like Goten and Trunks, for example, right here, but they are not translated, right? That means that they're not ready to, well, I guess the link sets are, but that means that they're not ready for release yet. BROLY is literally ready for release if they wanted to drop him tomorrow. So they're just going to announce him, of course, like they always do, and pop him out. So along with BROLY, you guys will be able to Dokkan Awaken your physical BROLY unit that you guys had. And if you're not familiar with what this BROLY is, he's just, again, the physical BROLY from the very first stage of the BROLY event on Z hard difficulty. He starts off as a base form BROLY, Dokkan Awakens into this guy, and then this guy then turns into the SS3 unit. And just for context, he's so old that he had a 30% passive, which was actually pretty cool. Like back in the day, he was actually a really good unit. Of course, he's now petered off, not so good anymore, extreme modifier, so on and so forth. But he does get a really significant increase. Leader skill is an all types leader skill. No HP and only 2 key, but it's still an all types leader skill. Supreme damage on the super attack, along with 3 key to himself and 70% at the start of the turn. That's actually a really big increase on this unit, along with picking up fierce battle and somehow retaining formidable enemy. So either way, he's a pretty solid unit. You guys will be able to awaken him, and I know a lot of people were kind of bummed out when it seemed like BROLY potentially couldn't have come. I always thought he would come, but it just was, like I said, just kind of weird. So there's that information. Now, I want to talk about the quote-unquote glitch Vegito thing. So if I go ahead and pull up that card really quick, can you not? There we go, cool. If I go back to cards, and then we go over to schedule, we'll actually don't want to be here. Categories. Majin Buu Saga should be in here now. If I'm not seeing it, there it is. Okay. So the Majin Buu Saga category was officially released in the game files. Now, the actual category leader, hear me, the actual category leader, Physical Super Saiyan Vegito, is not ready yet. If we actually check out the schedule, I don't even think he's translated at all. So he's going to be in here somewhere. I don't think he's translated whatsoever. Here he is. Probably just a link set. Yeah, just a link set. Okay, so what that tells me is, of course, Global could have wanted to go ahead and release that guy a little bit sooner, as the news implies, and make him to where he's available to be farmed for the event, right? So here's the thing. In the news, they said right here, basically, oh, hey, we found out that the Vegito is there and he's not working. He's missing his data. We're going to go ahead and compensate 1 stone and we'll officially release him. He was there so you guys can farm up your SSR Vegitos. If this isn't the biggest hunk of BS I've ever seen in my life, right? Now, I'm not going to shill for Bandai. I typically take the neutral ground, but honestly, this is just BS, right? Because the unit, unless the data that they sent out to be downloaded, unless that data got messed up and somehow, some way, this Vegito got corrupted to the point where he did not have the proper link to his image, to his passive, you look at the videos on him, he had nothing. It was just the art, the super attack was busted, like it had like a green glitch in it. He was not ready to be released. So unless somehow, some way, that individual card was the only card affected by this, and that card got messed up somehow and it didn't link properly, this wasn't intended, right? They acted like it was intended here, really and completely honestly, only so they can, not have to give out any sort of substantial compensation, because that wasn't the case, man. It just really wasn't. That card was just there. And had we not found out, they probably wouldn't have, said all this. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, because I will continue to call it Glitched Vegito, even though he's not anymore. But because we can't even use that card anymore. And I wanted to talk about that because some people were saying, no, it wasn't a glitch, it was intended, and all these. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. There's not a way you can tell me it was intended. If somehow, some way, again, he was completely broken, and there was not a single mention of that unit, okay? Not a single mention of that unit in any sort of news piece or anything at all. At all. Nothing. No sort of mention. So, okay, so he just somehow found his way into the data packets and was available. That's what happened, and they're like, oh, crap, well, we need to go ahead and bring him out. Of course, I don't think that they would even do that also because the fact that he's a Majin Buu category leader. You know, that means that they had to fast-track that category out as well. So that's what that data download was last night. Of course, BROLY as well got translated. So does that mean that physical Vegito is coming? If you ask me, no, not yet. I think it's going to be just kind of this way for a while. But he will have to come out probably sooner than later. So I think they're probably going to drop BROLY, then Frieza, then Vegito, basically. And that gets them back on schedule anyway. I just wanted to talk about that. And I'm not super mad about it, right? I don't really know the point of giving one stone. That just, oh my God, we just got one stamina refill, right? I don't really get the point of that. But I feel like they could have done better by a lot of us and at least given like 5 stones, right? I mean, God dang, if you're going to play like this was intended so you can cover your butt, you know, then maybe you at least give a single worth of stones. But it is what it is. I just wanted to talk about that, right? Because a lot of people are misunderstanding, and I'm not going to sit here and say they didn't mess up. They just tried to defend themselves. That's it. They tried to act like they didn't mess up, and they did. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said in the beginning, prior to my glitched Vegito rant. And by the way, the unit is still available there. He's actually 100% done now. Like I said, they fixed the unit to where he actually has his name, his art, his passive, his leader skill. Only thing that card had was links. It was completely busted. There was nothing there, okay? So yeah, he's fixed now, farmable. Go ahead and farm him up for your SSR Vegito, like they say, you know, he's there for, which is a whole other thing to me, but whatever. I don't really know why they would say he's there to farm this guy specifically when he came out months ago, technically based off of the Japanese version before the SSR Vegito even got announced, but maybe they just had that type of foresight. Maybe they weren't just sitting on their butts for 7 months, apparently, post the vote. But I just wanted to talk about it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new, all that other good stuff. Have an awesome day. Thank you for the continued support. Again, I'm not super mad about this. I just want to clear the air and talk about it. Anyways, take it easy, guys.